Hello, came up with the idea of this project mainly due to local scooter club members not being able to decide whether to go to the Isle of Wight on the GTS or the PX, no names mentioned. So we come up with the idea of putting a GTS engine into a PX style frame. The obvious choice for this would be the LML Auto frame. It's stronger, and I intended to remove the back body, which I've done to make access better. So the LML Auto was the obvious choice. You can pick them up now due to the problems with lack of access to engine parts, and I paid £100 for this back end with V5 with VIN plate, which is very cheap, and removed all the tubing from it, the existing tubing, built my own, which is 40 by 20 box section. Very strong material, gusseted in the right areas. Took a while to get everything lined up, but the main thing I think is to try and incorporate the silent block system underneath, which a lot seem to do away with and just bolt them straight in. If they do that, it tends to vibrate badly, and this tends to now very little vibration, no vibration at all really. Started it 10 months ago. It's took me that long to devise the different areas that I've had to modify. The frame won't go over the GTS engine, so I've had to widen that and band it 50mm, the whole lot. Then we came down to here, and there was a step on the centre section, so I've replaced all that with a wider one. You can see the area here where it's altered and gone back. And this here is the joint of the rear piece. You take these bolts out and a few on the top and the seat, and the hole in the centre mat and the whole of this rear section comes off. You've got full access to the engine. Underneath here, this is a stainless cover. It's open in here, and the hose work and the wiring goes through, and you can get full access there. Here is where the entry for the hot air pipes, the water pipes, the in from the engine, and this is the return. I decided to maintain the PX style throughout. Went for the Mark 1 head, which I prefer, with the SIP Speedo. If anybody's genned up on them, I could do with some help because I'm struggling with the computer. Mode buttons on here next to the indicators. Decided to mirror the effect over here and used one for the lights, dip and beam, and the horn. I've gone for electric start on here, the same as the PX and the GTS. But then I wanted to maintain the GTS theme throughout and keep the forks and wheels. And you can see at the back here we've got the GTS set up here with twin dampers. On the front we had to modify the forks in two different directions to make it line up and become that way, to line up with the mudguard and to come in line with the back. That took quite a while. The mudguard had to be completely moved different direction, lifted at the front. With having the twin discs, we needed to get the twin master cylinders on. Vespa only do the right hand one, so we went for the GTS ones. And to do that, I cut away the aluminium top of the here and fabricated some brackets underneath that go down, pick up on the two existing bolts here with a small tube welded in here to pick up on the original lever screw, and they're very solid. They seem to work very well. I decided to stay with the standard GTS exhaust. It's nice and quiet, it curves nice and fits under the panel. And it's if you try to use the Scorpion one, it tends to be a little lower down and look in your face a little bit. You can see the twin dampers here, goes up to the steel frame, which we did before. We needed to maintain the GTS fuel pump, which is here. It's the original PX tank. I needed to get, they're not deep enough to take the GTS pump. So I'd got two PX tanks, cut one deeper than the other and welded them together. So underneath here, I don't think you'll see it there much, but there's a step in that there, and it drops down all fully welded round, which gives the rear end the depth for the GTS pump, which goes at a slight angle. It has the added advantage. I now get 8.5 litres of fuel in there, which is very similar to the GTS anyway. This is just a standard type fitting, although raised slightly now. And this is from the pump is the feed to the injector. A couple of bits of rubber held there just to stop it chafing. That just goes down and snaps onto the injector. The rear rack is made from the two GTS types, the grab rail and the rear rack, which has been now welded together You need that because it's heavier now than the PX style and the LML, so you need this just to pull it up and give you a bit of leverage. The seat we couldn't get because obviously it was wider. We've widened the tank on the top and put a 1mm plate to give it some strength, and we've fabricated a seat frame which now has 3 springs in because it was a bit wider and it was sinking a little bit in the middle. Covered locally by a local chap for £100, which I didn't think were too bad. A B&Q knob on the back for access, which clips down there now. The rear end is just all GTS here. Maintained all the hugger mudguard under the back. Again, it all just connects through to the same frame, which comes through to the bit comes down the back. You tend to be a bit tail happy if you don't do that. And that's fixed together with the 2 bolts that also hold the rear light on. And I've gone for the SS 180 style light with a bit of sculpture in to make it fit. I did away with the rear plastic bumper and fabricated a steel one, which is all blended through, and more room inside now for the indicators. Welded the indicators up at the front and fitted these nice little ones here. I'll switch it on now and show you the horn off of that, which is nice. The indicators off here, which you can see at the front, yeah, and also at the back, permanently set into the new steel bumper. I've got the brake lights still as they were off of both of these, and I'll start it up now. It's the same as that. Pretty much the same as the GTS. It's nice and quiet, very smooth, it rides very nicely, pulls okay, obviously with the GTS engine in it. And, I think I just need to get some miles on it now.
See you in a bit. Trying to change gear then. I'm trying to go into first. Yeah.
I've done that once myself.
Right.
Made it.
Yeah, no bother.